Here, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Asta was like Manjo Sano, also known as Mikey, part 1. So this is part 1 of this what if. Let me mention something real fast. If you don't know who Sano is, he's from Tokyo Revenger, and my man is a menace. If he hurt the people that he loved, mostly like his friends, his sister, half sister, named Emma. He's like not really his like mostly adopted older brother. Mostly, yeah. His oldest brother did die. If you haven't like read the manga or whatever, I haven't read it. I've just been watching edits. Not the point. Let me begin this as what if. Let me shut the fuck up. I know I haven't been uploading that much. I know I uploaded like 3 days ago or 4 days. I can't remember. But yeah, I was going to upload yesterday, but I was too damn tired when I got home from school. So of course, that is not the point. Let me just begin into this what if and let me shut the fuck up. So we begin into mostly Asta. Well, one day when Yuno went to go kind of like go bring money towards his place to kind of ask for money and blah blah blah, or not bring money, mostly ask. Yeah, no wait, ask. I don't remember what was it again. But Yuno went to go do that, and of course that's when mostly Father or sister kind of tell him to kind of go do that. While Asta was kind of worried about his brother. Now this is where I should mention one thing about Asta. Asta has always been worried about his siblings. Now, Asta isn't really much percentage in magic, mostly caring that much about magic. He cares very less about having zero magic. Well, yeah, he has kind of zero magic. He cares about less about that, but he was trained by his oldest brother, which mostly his oldest brother isn't really around that much, but mostly his oldest brother, Yuno, and Asta's oldest brother is someone named mostly Shinichiro Sano, because Sano, he is mostly the oldest brother and the oldest kind of child in the church. Now, he was actually someone who actually brought Asta towards this place. Yes, mostly Asta and Shinichiro are actually the same as brothers. They're actually connected. But of course, mostly being next to, what's it called, Yuno. Now, of course, Shinichiro didn't actually know who actually brought Yuno. He was mostly, Shinichiro was the one to bring Asta. But mostly, he didn't bring Yuno. Yuno was just brought by someone else. And of course, he didn't care. Of course, Shinichiro knows about his mother and other things, but mostly Asta doesn't know about them. And mostly Shinichiro hasn't been seen for a while, but yeah. But we go into mostly Asta and mostly kind of going to go help his brother. His brother is right now in trouble, being Yuno. So we go into mostly that POV. Yuno is going, damn it. He's looking up and seeing this older man finally have his necklace and says, I wonder how much this would sell for. This is where Yuno gets up and you say a lot about when magic saying, give me that back. This is where, well, the older man says, if you use your magic, I'll kill you in an instant. This is where, well, Yuno starts crying. And this is where, when Asta shows up, Asta kind of was walking around saying, Yuno. He sees Yuno right now kind of being all bruised and kind of bloody. And, of course, kind of crying and, yeah, sobbing. This is where, well, an older man was looking up, mostly being over him, and kind of just looking at the necklace and kind of having a drunken look, which Asta doesn't care that much. But mostly when Asta sees this, his eyes, mostly his greenish eyes become a much more duller and darker color. This is where, well, his hair starts flaring up in an instant. His whitish kind of silky white hair that's mostly kind of always down a little bit, but yeah, starts kind of flaring up. This is where, well, mostly this darkness started creeping into his mostly ear. And this is where he feels this impulse to kill this motherfucker for hurting his, mostly, not little brother, mostly his like brother. Because they're mostly the same age. So, of course, this is where, well, he said, mostly nice. Asta looks at this and says, hey. This is where, well, Asta said in a deep toned voice that wasn't it was different from mostly being a child. When the older man says, who are you? This is where, well, he gets his face literally kicked in by Asta. Even though Asta was way too small, Asta jumped up and kicked this guy in the side of the head so hard that this guy was smashed to the ground in an instant. If you want to think about it, it kind of looked like what's it called, mostly Mikey from Tokyo Revengers versus Hama that one time when Hama says, "Oi, oi, oi, Mikey, the battle isn't," he gets his fucking head smashed in. But yeah, that's how it was. It kind of looked like that, but when Asta was a little bit smaller than the older, adult-looking man. This is where, well, Asta grabbed the necklace in an instant, and of course, gives it towards Yuno and says, "Here, Yuno, are you okay?" This is where, well, mostly Asta's eyes became much more lighter, and of course his mostly demeanor and tone of voice became much more also lighter, much more friendlier than normal. This is where, well, Yuno was just speechless. His eyes, he was mostly tearing up, and this is where he tried to wipe off the tear from his eyes. He just noticed the adult being there, and when he just wiped off the tears from his eyes, he doesn't see that man, but mostly on the ground, and Asta being mostly over the man having the necklace and giving it towards Yuno. Yuno doesn't understand, but of course Yuno's just happy for his mostly brother to actually help him, but yeah. This is where Asta just smiles with a very gentle smile to Yuno, but yeah. Now I should mention one thing. Yuno, well, mostly in the very beginning, mostly Asta's eyes when he was a child were actually a lightish green. They became a dullish green when his oldest brother, disappeared after a while. But of course, during this battle, it became much more darker than normal. Of course, where, well, we go into mostly a time skip after this. We go into mostly a 16-year-old, well, not 16-year-old, a 15-year-old Yuno who's taller, handsome, and has black hair, and of course he's hazelish, kind of goldenish eyes. This is where, well, he has a necklace on his like chest, and this is where, well, he's looking for mostly his like brother, or mostly, yeah, his actually twin brother. They're not really twins, but mostly he just counts as Asta as the twin brother, but yeah. This is where, well, he's looking for him and did ask for the other kids to kind of go look for mostly Asta. Now, of course, where, well, we go into someone with orange hair and, of course, purplish eyes, kind of saying, "Hey, Asta, what are you doing?" This is where, well, Asta was literally laying back on a tree, of course, falling like already sleeping. And when Asta opened one of his eyes, he said, "What do you want, Nosh?" This is where, well, the kid with orange hair, his name. This is where, well, Nosh kind of has his eyes closed and has both of his hands back in his head. And this is where, well, Nosh says, "Yuno is looking for you. You know that, right?" This is where, well, Asta says, "Why is he looking for me?" This is where, well, Asta kind of puts his hand near his like mouth to kind of stop the yawn. But, who's you yawning? Got to make myself yawn half the damn time during this videos. But not the point. Sorry for my moment. But this is where, well, mostly, Nosh says, "I don't know, Asta. Maybe you should go kind of ask him and why he keeps looking for you." Well, I have a clue. And why mostly, what's it called? Yuno's asking for you. Why is that? Today's, the wizard kind of grimoire day to get a grimoire. This is where, well, Asta says, "Huh? And what's the point of me going? Clearly I have zero magic." "I don't really care, Nosh. Tell Yuno that good luck in whatever he gets, and good luck in becoming the Wizard King or something." I don't really care. This is where, well, Nosh sweat drops at mostly how Asta is super laid back. He's very laid back. He has zero magic, but he's just very laid back. He does work out a lot. He is kind of buff and built for being a kind of someone to be like not 5'3", mostly 5'5". Yes, Asta is 5'5", while Yuno is, how tall was again? So Yuno was actually 5'6" when he was 15, and of course Asta's actually was not 5'5", he's 5'4", and this is where, well, Asta might be smaller than both of them, but of course Asta doesn't really care. This is where, well, Asta kind of just yawns and says, "If that's all you came here to ask me, Nosh, if you don't mind me, I'm going back to sleep." This is where, well, Asta starts falling asleep. But yeah, Nosh sweat drops on mostly Asta's kind of laid back attitude, doesn't really care. Asta has zero magic and he just knows that. He just doesn't care. He actually makes up the mostly lack of magic with combat skill. He's actually pretty good at martial arts. The reason why he's pretty good at martial arts is because when he was younger, he was actually trained in a very martial arts from his brother. Because mostly him and his brother actually came from somewhere, but he doesn't actually know. And his brother is the only one to know about that. But he doesn't, it didn't really ask his brother and where they actually exactly came from. So of course that's out of the question. But he also got trained by mostly an old man in the village. Like an old, well, not in the village, mostly outside the outskirts of the village. Was trained by, training Asta. Now, it wasn't what's it called, that guy with red hair. It was mostly another guy who had kind of white hair. Of course, his eyes were mostly, he had kind of grayish dark hair, and of course with brownish eyes, and of course was always this muscular built person. He looked like he was already like 6'9" or something. He was tall as hell. Asta was shocked, but of course mostly Asta at that time was actually like during 10 to 11 years old. He took some time to actually train with this older man, and this older man teach him about something called Re Taekwondo, a skill that mostly the older man built for martial arts and techniques and all them other stuff. Now, of course, the older man said that he came from somewhere called the Land of the Sun, and of course, to teach people about like defending skills or like offense skills if they didn't have magic or whatever, or had poor lack of magic, whatever. And of course, he and Asta have mostly kind of zero potential magic. He instead kind of decided to teach him martial arts. Now, these martial arts are basically called Re Taekwondo, and yes, it's from the God of High School. And what the fuck is that noise? Never mind, I think that's just some motherfucker really just driving the side, whatever. Not the point. Of course, he was teach martial arts from that age, mostly 10 to 11, and he was a prodigy amongst prodigies. He was pretty good in learning how to do a lot of stuff. The older man just had to teach him once, like a move and all them other things, and well, mostly Asta already mastered in a couple of seconds. Yeah, Asta's eyes aren't just what's it called for show. I mean, they are for show, but he can easily master things pretty fast. Of course, this is where any hand-to-hand technique skills, not magic. So yeah, of course, that's not the point. Mostly the older man also noticed something that Asta is kind of unique. Something called an impulse. Mostly something that he has heard of, mostly in the Land of Sun, but it's quite rare. Something that he remembers hearing about, and has told Asta about this, but mostly Asta was kind of dumb about it, okay? Mostly Mikey and Merdon Canyon, he's also, not that smart. But not the point. Of course, mostly Asta was trained to kind of know about this impulse. He was also trained to learn how to do ki sense. So of course, ki sense he already has it mastered down. This man was none other than Jin Tai. His name was Jin Tai. Let me say that again. So Jin Taijin. This is where, well, mostly he kind of remembers the older man's name and other things, but yeah. This is where, well, he knows about ki, the mastery of ki. He knows about martial arts, mostly Re Taekwondo, and a bunch of other skills. And he knows about someone impulse. Now, of course, he doesn't know exactly what impulse is, but he just understands the basic of something malicious inside him, but not the point. This is where, well, we go into mostly Asta kind of just telling Anash to kind of just go. He doesn't really care about becoming a wizard or magic knight or whatever bullshit. He doesn't have magic, so what's the point of it? This is where, well, Nash kind of just watch out, and mostly Yuno's kind of very, very laid back attitude. He really doesn't care. He doesn't care this much or that or anything. So of course, where, well, Nash watch out and say, fine, I'll tell Yuno about this. This is where, well, Asta says, also don't tell him where I'm at. I don't want him to actually go look for me and use his magic to actually drag me over there. Okay? This is where, well, Nosh walks up and says, yeah, I know. Asta says, good, thanks. This is where, well, Nosh walks away, and this is where, well, someone else actually appears kind of behind a tree. And of course, it was a guy with kind of blondish hair. And of course, he had like a tattoo on the side of his head. And he looked older than Asta, being at least 16. And this is where, well, he's wearing this kind of outfit. Mostly, Asta was wearing this kind of black kind of coat outfit. Mostly a black shirt and a coat outfit. Like a grayish coat outfit. This is where, well, he was also wearing kind of like these black pants. And just black shoes. Or mostly, yeah, you get the point. And of course, the other man was kind of wearing a kind of black and white kind of like coat a little bit. A black shirt. Or, no, black shirt. White shirt. Of course, wearing these like black pants, and yeah. This is where, well, mostly also says, what do you need, Draken? This is where the other person named Draken kind of said, hey, Mikey. This is where, well, mostly Asta's called Mikey by this person. Now, of course, this person is named Draken, Now, if you don't know who exactly Draken is from Tokyo Revenge, I'm adding some characters from Tokyo Revenge. I don't care if you people hate it, because fuck you. I don't care. But mostly Draken is named, well, his original name is not just Draken. Draken is just a nickname. But mostly his original name is Ken. His original name is Ken Raiju. Of course, well, mostly that's his like original name, but his nickname is just called Draken, so I'm gonna just call him Draken. But of course, well, he kind of just says, hey, what's it called? Mikey. This is where, well, Mikey said, yeah, do you need something, Draken? Draken says, well, I was going to ask, you're not going to the grimoire kind of magic, whatever bullshit, right? This is where, well, Mikey nodded, being awesome. This is where, well, Draken says, why not? Isn't your brother going to ask you to come there? Yeah, I know, but I'm just gonna ignore him because I know damn well that I won't get a grimoire. What about you? Are you going? I know you have magic. Why aren't you going? This is where Draken says, nah, I don't really care about either. Magic is kind of pointless because, well, if you have such shitty magic, you can easily get your ass kicked by just these hands. This is where, well, Mikey chuckles being Asta and saying, that is true. That's very, very true. Now, I don't really care about magic users or any of that. So, yeah. This is where, well, Draken says, still, this is where, well, Draken right now uses a bit of his magic to kind of like make this like fire ember appear in his hand. Yes, he has fire magic, and this is where, well, Draken says, still, this is such a, what's it called? Still, it's kind of weird for you not to have, what's it called, magic. You're the weirdest type of being here. This is where, well, Asta says, hey, I'm not weird. I'm normal. Well, as normal as it can be. This is where, well, Draken chuckles and says, well, you still insult yourself half the time. Whatever, kid. Whatever, Mikey. I might go. Maybe after the whole festival thing. Like, I might just show up after all that. Same, I might. You know what? Fuck it. I'll go along with you. I have nothing else to do. I just don't want to be bothered with the nobles and other pricks and blah, 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 blah. This is where, well, Draken nodded and says, well, let's just wait after a while then. This is where we go into Yuno hearing from, well, mostly Nosh about what Asta said and the fact that he can't tell, well, Yuno about where, well, Asta's at. This is where, well, Yuno sighs and says, why is he such an annoying prick at the time? Why are you doing this, Asta? It's the Grimoire Festival and yet you don't come over here. Damn it, Asta! Asta! He screams in this where, well, we go into, what's it called, Asta and Draken literally playing, what's it called, not Draken, mostly, cards. And of course, this is where they hear a loud scream. This is where, well, Draken says, yeah, that's definitely Yuno. This is where, well, Asta says, yep, that's definitely Yuno. Well, go fish. This is where, well, Draken says, you fucking cheated, didn't you? This is where, well, Asta says, no. This is where, well, he kind of has something in his mouth. And this is where, well, Draken says, did you eat the... You mother! This is where, well, also switch up and just kind of runs away. This is where Draken chases after him. Get over here, you motherfucker! This is where he said, mostly Asta say, no, fuck you! This is where, well, Asta's just running like hell, but yeah. We go into mostly, what's it called, Yuno kind of, well, being able to get the grimoire, of course. That being the, what's it called, 4-leaf grimoire. That's kind of green and it's kind of all holy and a bunch of people are just amazed and blah, 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 blah. Of course, that's not the only point of someone getting a 4-leaf grimoire. Some other people actually managed to also get a grimoire, well, 4-leaf grimoire, but it was a bluish color but with silverish aura. This is where, well, the person grabbing this kind of grimoire was a female with kind of bluish hair, like lightish bluish hair, or kind of lightish darkish blue hair. Of course, these dark blue eyes that were icy as hell. She had this outfit that kind of looks like a, what's it called, like some kind of Empire, mostly like Empire uniform outfit. And of course, where, well, she had kind of like massive bust and other things. She was the same age as somewhere similar towards Yuno and Asta, but yeah. This is where, well, she grins and says, wow, I can't believe I also got a 4-leaf grimoire. That's interesting. This is where, well, a bunch of people are just amazed at her beauty. Some people say that she's definitely a noble and other things. And this is where, well, people actually expected also, Yuno to also be somewhat of a noble. There's no way in hell he was not a noble. But yeah, This is where, well, the female then looks to her side and sees mostly a friend of hers kind of be able to get a grimoire. Or just a grimoire that actually had a 5-leaf. And it was being unable to be read, well, mostly read upon. But yeah, it had a bunch of ancient tech language, and of course, yeah, the person was just like, what the fuck did I just get? But yeah, it was a blondish hair girl with kind of, mostly she had palish blondish hair. Of course, dullish blue eyes, and this is where, well, she was just so damn confused and what the fuck she got exactly. But yeah, this is where she sighs and say, I fucking hate this. This is where, well, mostly the girl next to her being the bluish hair girl just kind of giggles at her. But yeah, this is where just sweat drops and sees a lot of people just staring at them like if they're gods amongst men. But yeah, now of course we get out of that whole thing by what's it called, kind of walking. But of course, before leaving, someone attacked him with a chain and was taking his grimoire. Now of course, when turns back around, he sees the kind of other two girls kind of also with chains. Well, not really with chains, mostly the one blondish hair and the other one kind of being on an ice pillar, making sure that the chains wouldn't be able to hit her. But yeah, she has an ice sword and doesn't work well. She's looking down and glaring at, what's it called, the chain guy. I don't remember the chain guy's name. I really didn't care. But mostly he's there. Like mostly in original canon, but yeah. Now of course we go into two people walking up the stairs. This is where Draken kind of just says, hey Mikey, what kind of grimoire do you think I'm gonna get? This is where, well, Mikey being mostly being Asta, thinks about it and says, Kenny, I don't know what you're gonna get. Maybe you're gonna get like some kind of grimoire that has like 8 leaves or something. This is where Draken says, what the fuck does an 8-leaf mean anyway? God. This is where, well, mostly Mikey said, or mostly Asta said. This is where, well, Draken chuckles saying, the hell? You expect me to be God or something? Hey, I mean, you never know. This is where Draken switches up and says, yeah, I guess you're right. Still, this is the most stupidest belief I ever hear. 8-leaf grimoire. If I get an 8-leaf grimoire, I will literally just fucking eat a whole bread. Just swallow that down and yeah, I will shut up after that. This is where, well, also chuckles and says, you never know. This is where, well, mostly they're just talking, bantering each other. And when they get upstairs, they see, what's it called, chained up. The girl with an ice sword right now trying to deflect any, what's it called, chains from actually hitting her. Of course, still having her grimoire. Yuno's grimoire being taken, and of course the other girl kind of being chained up, and of course her grimoire was taken also. This is where, well, mostly Asta says, yo, what's happening? This is where, well, turns around and glares. Gives Asta the most dirtiest glare ever. Asta says, why are you giving me such a glare? Don't look at me like that. I just didn't want to come. I'm so shy and nervous when people are all around me. Says, don't give me that bull crap, Asta. Why the hell didn't you just come along with me? And this is where, well, Asta says, oh, come on. What's it called? Not Mikey. What's it, It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Who really cares? This is where, well, just glares. Keeps giving the most murderous glare at, what's it called? Mostly, Asta, but of course is where, well, Draken says, who the hell is that guy anyway? The guy with the chains. This is where says, that's the guy who took my fucking grimoire. Oh, this is where mostly Asta says, oh, what did you get, This is where says, I would have shown you, but my grimoire is taken, so I'm just gonna tell you, I got a 4-leaf grimoire. This is where Draken says, goddamn, there's no way I'm gonna beat that. And this is where, well, mostly he mostly told Mikey. This is where, well, Asta says, nonsense with the car. Mostly Kenny, you're definitely gonna get something better, probably an 8-leaf or something. You're probably gonna show that you're God and you're both what they call This is where just glares at both of their antics. This is where, well, says, can you fucking help me or something, Asta, instead of you just talking with Draken? This is where, well, Mikey says, fine. This is where, well, mostly Asta starts kind of jumping up and down. And of course, this is where, well, mostly Yuna's confused. Draken already knows about what mostly Asta's going to do. This is where, well, Asta jumps up and down. And this is where, well, he then kind of just sprints past Yuno in blinding speed, running straight towards the guy with the chain. And this is where the guy kind of just noticed Asta's presence and just sends multiple chains attack straight towards Asta. Asta jumps up, then just ducks down so fast, dodging all the chains in an instant. And this is where, well, most of the chain dudes say, "What the hell are you, kid?" This is where Asta jumps up and fucking drop kicks this guy in the face. This is where, well, the person gets kicked down to the ground in an instant. And of course, the where, well, Asta says, "Damn, too pathetic and an idiotic moron." Meh. Well, that was interesting. This is where, well, mostly, well, we go into mostly the person. And, "Oh, my nose, you little brat, you broke it." This is where, well, Asta says, "I did? Huh. Oops. Nah, I don't really care that much. Man, now that I think about it, I am hungry. Hey, Draken, or mostly Kenny, do you think we have some food at home? I'm hungry. Or do you have food right now?" This is where Kenny says, "Stop with the food. Just kick his ass and hurry this up." This is where, well, Mikey says, "Oh, you're so mean." Fine. This is where, well, Mikey headers to dodge, or being Asta, Mikey, Asta, is the same person, okay? Just know that I call him Mikey for right now. This is where, well, Mikey headers to dodge to the right, left, right again, because he's using key sensory to actually dodge this attack, mostly these attacks. This is where, well, we go into mostly the changer saying, "What the hell? Just die already!" He's trying to attack him multiple times, and this is where, well, Asta says, he just easily dodges this, and this is where, well, Asta says, "No thanks." This is where Asta clocks his man in the face, sending him straight towards the doors of, well, the Grimoire Tower. This is where smashing through them, and of course, this is where, well, Asta says, "Wow, I think I punched him a little too hard. I don't really know my own strength, don't I?" This is where, well, both Yuno and Draken just watch off, and we'll see Asta's kind of antics most of the time. The girl who's actually chained up is kind of just short dropping at mostly Asta's antics, and this is where, well, Asta kind of just walks past her, but before just kind of destroying the chains by kind of punching it hard enough, of course, where, well, mostly just not punching it, but chopping it mostly with a karate chop and trying to actually break them. He actually managed to break them pretty easily, the chains, because he's stronger than normal. But of course, when he did it, this is where, well, mostly the girl kind of was shocked and just amazed. Of course, she had a little tint of blush because mostly Asta doesn't look like a normal peasant. He actually does look actually like a mostly good-looking person. He does have the face of somewhat Mikey, but yeah, like an innocent child or something like that. But of course, is where, well, we go into also walking straight towards the chain dude. This is where, well, the chain dude just screeches in anger, saying, "I won't die. I'll never die. I'll kill you, bastard. I'll kill you." This is where, well, also says, "That's too bad. I mean, you already tried to kill me, but I guess you can try." This is where, well, the man just sends multiple chains straight towards Asta. And this is where Asta was about to just dodge him. But this is where, well, mostly Draken says, "Fireball!" This is where he sends a fireball straight towards Mikey and the chain dude. This is where, well, mostly Mikey says, "Oh shit! Kenny, what the hell?" This is where he jumps out of the way and this is where a fireball smashes into the chains. This is where, well, Draken says, "You're taking too long, Mikey." This is where, well, also says, "You're so mean. Fine, I'll finish this." This is where, well, mostly the changer says, this is where, well, he grins when his grimoire kind of appears into a page, and the fireball still was covering most of the smoke and dust and other stuff. He then launches a very powerful chain, like a silver chain, straight through the smoke. And this is where, well, Asta couldn't react fast enough. He could, but of course, he was about to, like, dodge it, but this is where, well, or not even dodge it. Well, he was about to dodge it, but this is where, when he jumped out of the way, he, like, jumped up forward, like, mostly, not forward. He, like, jumped, forward. Not forward, mostly above. What am I talking about? Fuck. That's what. He jumped above, but this is where, well, he noticed the chain actually, like, was about to just hit the ground until it, like, twists up and then just follow, well, Asta and also widen his eyes. This is where, well, mostly Draken notices, and this is where Draken tries to use his flames to attack, what's it called? Mostly the chain, which the chain kind of decides to switch directions, and instead of hitting, well, what's it called? Mostly Mikey being Asta, it decides to turn mostly to the direction of the fireball, piercing through the fireball and hitting Draken right in the chest. Draken goes, "Gah!" This is where, well, he coughed up a gulp of blood, like a big, huge gulp of blood. This is where, well, when Asta notices, when Asta notices, Asta says, Draken? Or mostly Kenny. He just screams out, Kenny! This is where, well, mostly Yuno and the others kind of wind their eyes. This is where, well, Draken is saying, damn. This is where he grabs the chain and says, I'm not letting this go. This is where, well, the chain dude is just laughing and saying, wow, you should have not done that, you idiot. That chain was basically a heat tracking kind of chain. The chain was actually allowed to track people that has a heat, well, mostly a bunch of heat. And since you're a fire magic user, it seems to attract, instead of going straight for that boy, it went straight for you. You're an idiot for using your fire magic. The guy had a psychotic grin. This is where, well, when Mikey notices, he just looks at Draken and then looks back at the chain dude. His eyes become duller, much more duller than normal. They actually seem to kind of glow a little bit crimson red for a second. This is where, well, mostly his hair starts fluttering up, mostly going up, like floating up. Of course, this is where, well, his body tenses up in an instant, just impure out of anger and frustration in an instant. This is where, well, the man is just laughing and saying, now I get to kill you. This is where he tries to take the chain out of Draken. Draken's like, I'm not letting that shit happen. This is where he's coughing up a little bit more blood. And this is where, well, Mikey says, Draken, stop. You're gonna die. This is where Draken smiles and says, if I die, I guess I'll be at least protecting you, Mikey. This is where Mikey notices his eyes were more murderous in color. This is where, well, he was gritting his teeth in an instant out of anger and frustration. This is where, well, we'll see, well, Mikey says, you are trying to kill my friend. My friend, hurt my brother, hurt those people. You're starting to piss me off, you scumbag. This is where, well, darkness started kind of fluttering around him. But no one can see this. Mostly this is called Dark Impulse. But something else appears. A grimoire appears right in front of Asta. Mostly this grimoire being a 5-leaf grimoire. And this is where Asta then kind of pulls something from the grimoire in an instant. This sword. Mostly he pulls out 2 swords. But they mostly, the handles are kind of like this dragon handles. Of course, mostly like the guard is like a dragon guard handle and other things. But of course, the handles are kind of like these black and red kind of, yeah, you get the point. The handle and other thing. Of course, the 2 swords are kind of rusted black. And of course, where, well, also says, you're starting to piss me off. This is where something started glowing underneath mostly Asta's kind of shirt. And it's none other than a necklace that he actually had. Mostly it's just like, kind of, it used to be just this like black kind of necklace, just like this black necklace, a black ball necklace that he really didn't know much, but mostly he remembers that his brother gave it to him, and he just doesn't know much. Now the grimoire is a little bit different. The grimoire doesn't just have 5 leaves; it also has a dragon head around it, and mostly it looks kind of rusty also, but not the point. It has this red, very red, crimson, very malicious, sinister energy. This is where, well, Asta has this very powerful energy flowing around him. It looks like it's connecting towards his power very easily. His hair is becoming a little bit blacker than normal. His eyes are becoming crimson, more red, more ferocious. This is where, well, the older, mostly looking man, crazy psychotic man, says, what the hell are you? Huh? How did you get a grimoire? My chains can't sense you, but what the hell? You should have no magic. What the hell are you? This is where Asta says, who am I? I don't know. All I know is you're dead. This is where, well, Asta closes his eyes when he was kind of talking, then opens them when he says you're dead. This is where Asta disappears in an instant, speed blitzing this man. This is where he then pulls both of the katanas to the side of mostly a side of his, like, arms. Of course, this is where, well, mostly, like, in the side of his waist, and did like an X motion when he swings both of them in an instant. This is where, well, he basically gave a huge scarring of an X on this man. Now, of course, these swords are not dull. They're actually very sharp. This is where, well, the chain dude kind of goes. This is where he falls over in an instant. His grimoire is right now disappearing. He's not dead exactly, but mostly he's no longer able to use magic ever again. This is where, well, the chain disappears when was it called Draken, mostly he was still holding on to the chain and it disappears, and this is where Draken falls over, and this is where when Mikey notices, this is where Mikey then drops the two swords and rushes straight towards what's it called Draken. The two swords were about to just like fall down to the ground until they dissipated into black kind of smoke and went back into the grimoire. And the grimoire just follows Asta. Asta says, Draken, are you okay? This is where, well, Mikey is right now in horrified look. This is where, well, Draken's smiling at, what's it called, Mikey, and says, I'm okay, Mikey. You don't need to worry about me. This is where, well, Mikey, being Asta, says, what the fuck you mean I don't need to worry about you? You took a direct hit. You could have died. Please don't tell me you're gonna die. No. This is where, well, mostly, kind of got out of the chains, and this is where, well, he sees how mostly Asta's so worried about mostly this person named Ken. He remembers his original name, but mostly he's called Draken most of the time. Because Draken sounds kind of like a dragon, and that just reminds him of the tattoo that he has in his forehead, or mostly like in the side of his head, but yeah. This is where, well, everyone is kind of worried about the kind of older looking man, or mostly the older looking kid, but yeah, being Draken, who's 16, I should mention, but yeah. This is where Draken says, I'll be fine, Mikey. You don't need to worry about me. This is where, well, Mikey says, no, Draken, you don't need to, don't leave me. This is where, well, Draken says, I'm not gonna leave you. This is where, well, before he can finish the sentence, he just kind of like stopped. He stops breathing. This is where, well, Mikey starts screaming out, saying, no! This is where he was enraged, and of course his energy started fluttering around him, mostly this dark impulse and energy, until something appears in front of Draken, a grimoire, not just any normal grimoire. This grimoire has basically, so this is where what the mostly grimoire appears. So it's like a grimoire with 3 leaves, or not even 3 leaves, 4 leaves, and this is what it appears. A sun kind of around it, or not a 4-leaf or anything. It had a sun, and in the middle of the sun, it had this like phoenix-looking kind of shape. But yeah, this is where when the kind of grimoire appears, it goes down towards Draken, and this fire color appears around what's it called Draken. This is where Draken starts opening his eyes, and this is where the wound actually disappears by closing, and an instant healing in an instant. This is where, well, Draken says, what happened? I feel like I fell asleep for an eternity, years. This is where, well, mostly he then gets hugged by mostly Mikey. Mikey was actually crying. This is where, well, Draken says, there, Mikey. Why the hell are you hugging me? This is where, well, mostly Mikey says, I thought you died, you idiot. God damn it. Can't I cry for my best friend? This is where, well, Draken chuckles and says, you think I'll die? I'm too damn strong, and also, what the hell is this grimoire? Wait, Mikey. This is where, well, Mikey says, what is that anyway? Oh no, but what the hell is that around you? This is where, well, Mikey says, huh? He looks up and sees what they call the grimoire still floating there, and this is where Mikey grabs it. And of course, it's not absorbing his magic because he has 0 magic. But mostly, this is where, well, he kind of just pulls it down and says, what is this? This is where, well, he didn't want to check on the necklace that he has because it looks kind of similar, well, not similar, or similar, similar, bleh, no, what the fuck? Similar. What the fuck am I going on? But of course, well, Mikey pulls out the necklace, and this is where, well, the necklace is no longer a black ball, but instead a kind of crimson red kind of black dragon. This is where it's shaped like it. This is where, well, mostly Mikey says, what the fuck? Huh? He looks at the grimoire. It has 5 leaves, but also has a dragon head around it, mostly like a dragon kind of like clawing at the 5 leaves. But yeah, and of course being like on top of it. This is where, well, Mikey says, I have no fucking clue. This is interesting. I have 0 magic, and yeah, I got a grimoire. Yeah, I got a grimoire. Suck on it, see, I got a grimoire. Which I didn't really believe in myself, but look at this. I got a grimoire with more leaves on you. Man, suck on it, This is where, watch Austin says, yeah, whatever. This is where, well, Draken says, hey, I got an interesting grimoire, but it looks like a sun, and it has some kind of like bird on it. It might be better than Yuno's. I might be a god now that I think of it, because if you count the sun little like shapes around the sun, it has 8. And you did say that the 8-leaf grimoire did exist, it would be a god. So it might be better than Yuno. This is where Yuno says, okay, both of you fuck off. Yuno just falls backwards and says, you two are so damn annoying. the grimoire appears back in mostly front of Yuno grabs and says, "I got a 40 if you guys are just pricks." This is where, well, both Asta and even Draken are just chuckling at mostly Yuno's kind of reaction. This is where, well, the two girls are just sweatshopping at this kind of reaction, but yeah. Mostly one of them kind of blushes, or kind of both of them blushes at mostly how Asta is. Asta didn't really hesitate in using the sword to cut this person down, which made the girl with blue hair kind of blush because she likes people who don't really hesitate in killing other people. This is where, well, the blondish hair girl kind of blushes in how, well, mostly Asta is strong physically and other things, but also kind of very emotional and other things. But not the point. This is where, well, they both blush at the fact that Asta is like that, but yeah. Of course, we go into a time skip later, and mostly Yuno is training in about 3 months before the whole Magic Night exam happens. This is where both Draken and Mikey just fuck around, because even though they have grimoires, they don't care. They do train, but mostly, man, they don't really care. Now, of course, this is where Draken tries to learn how to make a fire sword, which he managed to. A fire sword kind of looks like a, well, let me show you. So this is the sword that he managed to make out of the grimoire, and it's basically like this goldenish and orange color, and basically it's just called Phoenix sword that he managed to make, but yeah. So of course that happened, and this is where, well, we go into, well, sorry if I keep saying, well, it's just, I'm right now kind of thinking, but yeah, whatever. But that's not the point. Draken kind of makes that sword, and this is where Mikey kind of brings out the two swords that he summoned out a while ago. And of course, they don't really have any swordsmanship skills. So of course, they go into the forest to learn about this, but a boar was chasing after this guy with red hair, who basically had no clothes. Both Mikey and Draken looks confused, but they use their swords to try to cut at what's called mostly the boar. Of course, where, well, Mikey's swords managed to do kind of something that cut some of the magic kind of reserves of this boar, and this is where Draken just fully roasts it alive with one slash straight towards the boar. This is where, well, the older man is named, what was his name? His name is Fanzo, and this is where Fanzo agrees to kind of train him in swordsmanship somewhat. Of course, by just, like, helping him around the house, which Draken thinks it was suspicious, but mostly he really didn't care. Even Mikey really didn't care, so of course they trained for like 3 months of that. But yeah. Of course, where, well, Mikey didn't need to train his physical body because it was already very built and physically built and other things. Draken was the exact same, but yeah. Now, Yuno was training on his magic, so whatever. But we go into the 3 months time skip, and of course, this is where, well, Draken and Mikey did meet someone named, what's her name again? Someone named Marilyn, and Marilyn tries to kill Fanzo, but of course, this is where both, well, Mikey and Draken didn't really let that happen. Of course, Mikey appeared right in front of, well, Marilyn, and Marilyn seems to be the same exact height as him. Of course, this is where he had multiple swords right in front of her neck, but instead of killing her, he instead just kind of smiles and really didn't care. Meh. But yeah, this is where Marilyn blushes at mostly how Asta can care less most of the time. He's free, lax most of the time, but of course, when he gets serious, it's a scary sight, but of course, at the same time, it's a cool-ass sight to see, but yeah. But that's not the point. We go after that whole kind of event happening, we go into the 3 months and go to the Magic Night exam. Now, of course, you know I had to drag both Draken and Mikey straight to the Magic Night exam because, well, both of them really didn't care. They only trained in their swordsmanship just to kind of improve in that and not really care about the Magic Night exam. But of course, they're being dragged along by Yuno, and Yuno made 2 very powerful wind arms out of his wind and just grabbing both of them and just dragging them. Of course, they refused to go, so of course they used their swords to try to, like, stuck themselves to the ground, which Yuno still pulled them, and there was just a huge-ass trail of, well, this long-ass trail of just a sword just clawing to the ground, but yeah. So that happens. Or mostly dual swords and 1 sword, but yeah. 1 sword that was like melting the ground. But that was happening, and this where Yuno was just upset with both of them, saying, "God damn it, both of you, fuck off!" But yeah. But other than that, I'm going to leave it off here for part 1 of What If Asta Was Like Manjiro Sano / Mikey, but whatever. So yeah, I'm going to end it off here. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah.